Toastmasters, and I guess our second speaker joined your Toastmasters also in January 2009. Her thoughts on the sports is quite interesting. Our choice of the theme exactly matching her thoughts on her first speech, because she will give the speech about sports. So she's also doing the icebreaker. The objectives are the same: to begin speaking before an audience, to discover speaking skills you already have and the skills that you need some attention. Her speech is titled Game of Life, Life of Games. Her speech is designed to be 4 minutes to 6 minutes long, and it's timed to be set at green light at 4, amber at 5, red light at 6. Thanks. So now please welcome Lisa and career Game of Life, Life of Games.
Hello, Toastmasters, and welcome guests. As luck would have it, the theme this evening was a subject that has played a very important role throughout my life: sports and adventure. So I thought I would just stick with that and carry through. Tonight I'll share with you a couple of stories about how sports have shaped me and where they've taken me to. Being the youngest in a family of 6, I was never really at a loss for playmates, and there's always some sort of game going on in our house or some sort of activity. One of my favorite things from an early age was I would play street hockey with my brothers and the boys in the neighborhood. And this evolved into my brothers convincing me that I was Tony Esposito, and they would fire shots on me in the basement. And being in net, telling me I was really good. I think they just liked firing shots. And this led to my first team sport adventure. At the age of 5, my mom, which I totally adore the fact that she did this, signed me up for an all-boys hockey team in Streetsville, Mississauga, and I was the goalie. The goalie pads were so big that every time I fell, the coach had to stand beside the net and pick me up. One of my brothers bet me a quarter that I could get a shutout in the playoffs of this season, and I got the shutout, and that was the end of my young hockey career. But I did rediscover hockey about 6 years ago, and I played with a group of friends. We kind of travel through the core group and play. We're not the best team, but we have a lot of fun, and it's just the team spirit. And I still get that excited feeling when we're going to a game of, I don't know, I just feel like a little kid, except maybe when it's the 11:20 p.m. games, then I feel like an old lady. Another common thread has been outdoor adventure, which has been a pretty big thread in my life. And it began in a golf park at the age of 7, when my mom still claims she was an unwilling participant in this activity, but my dad loved it, and they took us on a canoe trip to a golf park. We went into North Key Lake and we paddled in and camped. And it was a real adventure because we also got the tail end of a tornado that happened in Woodstock, Ontario. And it came through, and all I can remember is crying and my mom screaming at me to sit in the corner of the tent because it was going to blow away. And it was just pretty hectic and, you know, some good family bonding. And but the thing was, I loved that trip, and I think it definitely had a change and a big impact on my life. Because from that, out of the 6 kids, I was the only kid who went to camp. I wanted to go away to camp. And I went to camp for a number of years up in Tamagami in Waukon. And then we did go on some more family camping trips in a golf park as well. And I realized after my mom was a more willing participant, because at that point, Tetra Pak had been invented with wine, so you could bring wine into the park. I remember her and a friend, it was all about the wine. And it wasn't really until I got older that I could verbalize or kind of understand the ease and the peacefulness that I felt when I was outside in the woods, and just what that was to mean to me further on in my life as well. There's something about the simplicity, but the necessity of doing like everything that you have to do just for your existence to be. It's very simple, and I really enjoy that. Following that, I guess I did after doing that canoe trip, being a canoe tripper, I went on an Outward Bound trip before I went off to school. And it was a 1-month course that I did, and it involved climbing, a 14-day canoe trip. We had to do some repair on a house out in the middle of nowhere. It was snowing in September, and I had to do a 3-day solo. And on the solo, we were given a ration of food, and for 3 days, and I ate my food in the first 3 hours. And I just remember being hungry and cold, but I read back that journal that I had, and I still read it, and just think, I don't know, I think every kid should do that. It's a great experience to kind of be on your own. You go a little crazy, but at least you know what you know how crazy you can be. And then that led me into taking outdoor recreation in post-secondary school, outdoor recreation leadership. It was a great couple of years, and at the end of the program, it all kind of came together where you had to plan and execute a trip. And I did a cycling trip through California. We flew into San Francisco and rode our bikes down Highway 1 to LA, basically carrying in everything that we had, camping along the way. It was a really great trip. It was really hot. It was July. And that was kind of when I realized that I seemed to like challenges with an element of discomfort. There was something, you know, I just got some sort of thrill out of that. But I continued on with the cycling after that. It was kind of my mode of transportation, driving through the city, because I didn't have a car. And I worked in film, so whenever I didn't have a contract, I would just ride my bike. I'm now in real estate, so I have a car, but I still like to do a lot of cycling. I just condense it. So I've done a couple of bike trips for money being raised for the Toronto People with AIDS Foundation, and we ride from Toronto to Montreal, and it's a 6-day trip. And it's just that I still have that feeling it's a great experience, and it's about the people, and it's about that being on the bike, and just that, it's almost like a meditation that I get out of it, and it kind of keeps me calm, back to that border collie thing. It keeps me calm, it keeps me focused. So that's really about it. I'm doing another trip this year that's a triathlon, the Steve Lewis Foundation. That's 15K run, 3K bike ride, and 140K. 3K paddle, 140K bike ride. And for me, it's about the focus of sport at hand, whether it's, you know, with a team or on your own. I look forward to playing to many more. One of them is playing Jason at the Davisville Tennis Club this year, which I joined. I look forward to that. And there's just a quote that I had that kind of summed up how I felt about these sports and what I did. And I repeat to myself if I'm in the middle of something that seems a bit too much. And there are no shortcuts to any place worth going.